So, Mrs. Kuby, could you please tell us what is the main goal of the gender ideology?
The gender ideology is a whole package. The facade of this package is women's rights. And women's rights is an old tradition. We have been fighting for women's rights for 150 years. Now it is not about having equal chances, equal laws, which we need. Now it is about making women and men equal. And they are not equal. So in Germany we have 2,000 Gleichstellungsbeauftragte, women in organizations, in political and economic and public organizations, who make sure that women come first. And so this is the result of it is that more and more men are in disadvantage and boys are in disadvantage in the education system. And I think the truth is that women really want to have power over man. And it goes in that direction. So that is only the facade. Behind it is the deregulation of sexual norms. Any kind of sexual behavior is okay. And it goes further than this. Not only is it allowed, we have to say it is good. And we have to teach our children in school that any sexual orientation and any sexual activity, whatever you desire, is fine. And in fact, this is being taught in schools in sex education. It is not something special just for Germany. If you read the so-called quality standards of sex education by the World Health Organization, together with the German institution Bundeszentrale für gesundheitliche Aufklärung, then you see that this is the program of World Health Organization, a German institution, International Planned Parenthood. If you look at their websites for youth, you will see all this. And this is very dangerous because it undermines the family. If you have sexualized children, you really destroy the root of the family. Because a family needs, we all know, family needs sexual fidelity, otherwise it will break up.
And what are your feelings about Slovakia, and how do you evaluate it with regards on implementation of gender ideology?
I have experienced Slovakia now. I'm here for the third time, and it was always wonderful because Slovakia is a country with more, there's faith is more alive than it is in our country, much more alive. And that is a joy. It is a joy to meet all Slovakian, all these people who you can see in their faces, they want to have a good society and they want to engage themselves for something good. And I meet many, many people like this. So I was received with open arms in these days. I gave 6 talks, and all the time the halls were overfull and people listened very attentively. So that is a joy for me personally. That I can warn, that I can, because the development is not as far here in Poland, in Croatia, in Hungary, where my book is translated, and I'm very thankful that I can do this work. The situation in Slovakia, I do not know your language, so I cannot inform myself directly. And I hear it's also going on, it's beginning slowly. There is a preparation for sex education in schools. Funnily enough, not done by the education minister, but by the Minister for Justice or something. So I cannot say too much to this because I'm not informed enough. But I want to tell you, watch it. This is where the development is going, and build up resistance against it. Be attentive. Because all this in Germany happened under a blanket of silence. There was no resistance. And the very sad thing is that the church didn't resist, which is really, the church really should have done that and still should do it.
And yesterday you were talking about the new type of totalitarianism. Yes. Could you say something more about that?
Yes. The subtitle of my book is Destruction of Freedom in the Name of Freedom. And this whole new ideology is sold to us as freedom. Do whatever you like, it's fine. But what we notice is that a discrimination of Christian values is beginning, and the law by which this is made possible is our anti-discrimination laws. In the United Kingdom, it's called Equality Act. Everything has to be treated equal, especially people with different homosexual orientation. And the term sexual orientation is new. The danger are the anti-discrimination laws. In England, it's called Equality Act. And it is new that sexual orientation is put into laws, even into constitutions, in European documents, that sexual orientation is a criteria of non-discrimination, like racism, like disablement, like men and women. You are not allowed to discriminate, to treat one group worse because of that feature. Now it is sexual orientation, and in Germany, for instance, there's a battle to get it into the constitution. And once we have in the constitution the prohibition to discriminate because of sexual orientation, we have lost everything. Because as soon as we teach our children, we make a difference. Discrimen in Latin means to distinguish. Yeah? And we must, as Christians, it is vital, we must distinguish between good and bad. We must teach our children to distinguish. And it is necessary to see the difference between heterosexual behavior, which allows procreation, which allows family, which allows a happy life and fulfillment of love, and homosexual behavior, which has very great risks. One of them is that the life expectancy is 10 to 20 years less. And we are not allowed to talk about these things anymore because we are discriminating. So this is very dangerous, and here in Slovakia, you haven't got these laws yet. You must watch it and build up civil resistance that this is not happening. Use everything you can. Use the possibilities for referendum, whatever you can. Yeah, you have to build up a civil movement of resistance. And this is the law level is one thing. The other level is the sexualization of children in school. To teach children that any kind of sexual orientation is good and fine, even let homosexuals go into schools and tell young boys, we help you to come out. This should not be allowed.
And who is pushing and why is pushing this ideology into the states of the EU?
It is a marriage of radical feminism and the homosexual movement. And very often they are the same, because many radical feminists are lesbian and are single. So this is, they have got together, and they are the minority which is behind that. The feminists pretend to speak in the name of all women. This is not true. They speak in the name of single women who are successful in professional life. They do not speak in the name of young women who want a family. They do not speak in the name of mothers who want to be there for their children. They're really against all that. Yeah. The question is, why is this minority of radical feminists and homosexuals, why do they have such huge influence? Yeah, that the campaign of, in this year, the United Nations started a campaign, Free and Equal, to a campaign for LGBT rights in all member states. Why is this happening? And it is obvious, and one can prove that the high finance, the milliardaires who, like Bill Gates, Soros, Buffett, and Bezos from Amazon, who is a homosexual himself, they are behind this agenda. They finance it. And of course, why do they do this? I haven't got really a satisfactory answer. One thing one can see is that the United States of America, since the 70s, have programs of reducing world population by sterilization and by depending their aid programs on abortion and contraceptive programs, and so on. You can prove that. But for myself, for my understanding, this is not quite sufficient to understand this whole movement. I'm not bothering myself with finding the answer. I say what is happening on the level where I can have influence and you can have influence. Let's look at this, see what is destructive, and build up resistance.
And what are you saying on personal attacks of our director of Gender Center, Olga Pietruchová? Did you meet her? Because we have heard that she was present on your presentation.
Unfortunately, I did not meet her. It is obvious she's trying to slander my person. She's trying to verleumden, I don't know the English word, throw very bad words at me. Yeah? She's trying to make my person incredible and say she's, yeah. This is not a good way to do it. Is she so insecure? Why does she not have good arguments? And it has been translated to me what she says. It's an absolute lie that I cooperate with the Nazi Party. Well, they are NPD, they are called, yeah? And she says they are the followers of the NSDAP. I have nothing at all to do with them. And she will get a letter from my lawyer. I will take legal steps against this. And I will write an open letter to her. I think one can feel the spirit in which she's writing, and it's a spirit, there's a lot of hate in it, and of putting a person personally down, ad personam, and it's not the way we should deal with each other in public.
Okay, thank you very much.